Good day, South Africa. The inefficiencies of our national police force keep getting revealed and explain the general undesirable state of our austerity as a whole. 3 years ago, we had 4 SA Police Services or SAP Silverton Flying Squad members being arrested for perpetrating a kidnapping of 10 smuggled Bangladeshi nationals in return for some ransom money. A year prior to that, the Johannesburg Flying Squad police conducted an arrest of Constable Abraham Nasani from Midrand Police Station after information was leaked of a hijacking of a white Toyota Avanza he committed together with an accomplice. In 2007, the revelation of the highest level of police corruption was exposed when then President of Interpol and South African National Police Commissioner Jackie Celebi had a warrant of arrest issued for him on charges of corruption and racketeering. Next to be appointed to this post was Bheki Cele, who also resulted in being dismissed on the premises of financial mismanagement and inappropriate public announcements. Subsequent to that was the appointment of Ria Piecha, who also got booted out partly for the undue deaths of miners at the Marikana mines. Following that was Khomotso Phahlane's irregular expenditures on his private residence utilizing the state's monies, which also got him thrown out of office. Ever since Celebi's appointment in the year 2000, South Africa has never had another permanent National Commissioner of Police remaining in office for longer than 5 years without corruption getting the better of them and rendering them fired. Noting incidents that occurred in South Africa as long ago as the 2012 Marikana massacre, Amnesty International has monitored the SAP's behavior throughout until today and are still of the opinion that the brutality of our police force is unacceptable. With the abusing of police funds being a normalcy, like 3 years ago's arrest of a SAP's officer by the name of Morris Lesiba Shabalala, nicknamed Captain KGB, for illegally pocketing 200,000 rands from a fabricated 470,000 rand safe house blinds and curtains claim, it is most appropriate to remind the Cabinet as to their role in guaranteeing the legal transacting of police appropriated public funds. South African Police Services Act No. 68 of 1995's Chapter 8, Section 24, Subsection 4 insists on the Ministry's responsibilities in that, quote, Subsection 4, any regulation which affects state revenue or expenditure shall be made with the concurrence of the Minister of Finance, unquote. COVID-19 has provided an entirely new challenge for our police units and has required a heightened sense of effectiveness from our law enforcement agencies' leadership. The quarantining of Flying Squad and 10111 call centers due to positive cases has crippled vehicle and member patrols, which are extremely vital to maintaining order and legality in our communities. Michael Shackleton, MPL and DA Gauteng Shadow MEC for Community Safety, is urging the ruling party executives to ensure that there are enough vehicles on our roads while they need to be cognizant of the current additional danger that COVID-19 poses. Last week, Monday's United Nations or UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change or IPCC report has created a need for the world's countries to reassess each one's greenhouse gas emissions profiles. What's alarmingly clear is the fact that the world is in danger, and with mitigating efforts, we can expect an improvement of the deadly effects that are looming as time progresses. The importance of slowing down the climate change disaster cannot be understated and has been noted with the European Union members' countries' reliance on alternative energy sources such as nuclear, which requires the most advanced form of expertise that the world can offer. France has been spearheading the nuclear energy plant evolution since the 80s, as they have been managing up to 59 nuclear energy plants around the country, which have been generating an unmatched amount of energy. This has allowed them to emit less carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases than fossil fuel power plants, which are preferred by the majority of countries around the world. Nuclear has shown to being a cleaner burning alternative to fossil fuels and is less harmful to our natural environment if administered correctly, while cognizant of its unforgiving nature upon instances of negligence. South Africa has the second most vast gas reserves in Africa, second only to Algeria, and contributing to our nation's unrivaled greenhouse gas emission statistics in the continent as a whole. Royal Dutch Shell has estimated that South Africa's gas reserves in the Karoo, if fully exploited, are capable of producing 200 billion rands per year, in addition to creating employment for 700,000 people. However, this possibility has been thwarted by the corruption which has been reported of in the Energy Department. Compounding PetroSA's 14.5 billion rands in losses of citizens' monies incurred in the 2014 and 15 financial year, including another 1.1 billion rands announced in 2017, is the fact that our country's greenhouse emissions are considered 12th most devastating in the entire planet. Our national power producer, Eskom, is obviously the main reason for our nation's high ranking on the list of the worst culprits in the climate change causation, as it is the 7th greatest power producer in the planet. Despite its huge capacity for producing electricity, Eskom's efforts have been tainted since 9 years ago, when its electricity reserve margin went into deficit, resulting in the usage of expensive diesel-fired gas turbines just to keep citizens' homes powered up. On that same year, the repercussions of a poor power supply to the country led to the downgrading of our sovereign, while all of the quote, big three, unquote, credit rating agencies, and the trend has persisted in the subsequent years, leading to today's speculative rating of our country due to the unscrupulous runnings of its state-owned enterprises, or the SOEs. Due to the utmost urgency of the climate change matter, our government has to show absolute commitment to decreasing its contribution to the greenhouse gases accumulating in the atmosphere, and it is through adherence to the National Environmental Management Act number 107 of 1998, Chapter 6, Section 25, Subsection 3E, that we can take comprehensive action towards attempting to reach the global goal of the Earth's temperature increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius within the following 20 years. The Act requires that, quote, Subsection 3, the Minister may introduce legislation in Parliament or make such regulations as may be necessary for giving effect to an international environmental instrument to which the Republic is a party, and such legislation and regulations may deal with inter alia the following. E. Initiatives and steps regarding research, education, training, awareness raising, and capacity building, unquote. The rapidly increasing global surface temperatures have already been linked by the scientists, which have converged through the United Nations, to the hundreds of deaths induced by heat waves in the United States and Canada. Also attributed to the global warming scourge are the floods which have damaged parts of Germany and China, including wildfires which have scorched other areas of Europe. As a country, we need to account for the unacceptable amount of carbonizing of the atmosphere we are responsible for and compare these figures with those of other austerities. Out of the top 12 greenhouse gas emitters in the planet, we are in the 16%, indicating the lowest GDP figures, including the lowest export statistics. Dave Bryant, Member of Parliament and DA Shadow Minister of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries, is sounding the sirens about the marine heat waves we are being held at fault for, amongst other deadly man-made catastrophes. Thank you.